to our beginners course in Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is one of the Microsoft Office suite which is used principally for the editing of either producing documents, editing document, producing of invitation cards as well. To open Microsoft Word, there are actually many ways of doing that. If you already have a Microsoft Word page open, you can directly move to the taskbar, right click, yes, and you will see all the recent pages that you've been working on. Then you click the one that is labeled just Word below, or you can type in your search space, you type Word and double click on it as well, and it will open you to this page where you have templates, where you can get this template provided by Microsoft Word to ease your work. So if you want to make a brochure, for instance, you can either search brochure template up here, or if it's a calendar, you search calendar, and here you also have suggested like business. If you click on business, you're going to have the business options coming up. Yes, can be education. You can search education. You can search education related templates. Yes, presentations. All this you can search, but you need to know that you have to be online. You have to be connected for you to have these templates. But usually and naturally, the blank page Microsoft Word is what we commonly use. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on it to open our Microsoft Word working space. Here we, like in Excel, we have our tab bar, where if we click still, you have the ribbons that will open. Yes, for insert tab, for instance, we still have the ribbons, design tab, and so on. And above the tab bar, we have customize access toolbar. Yes, we can equally insert 3D from online. Yes, three-dimensional, actually taking some time. Great, we can insert any of these, like search, for instance, this for instance, and you insert, you're going to have it come up into your workspace. Yes, sorry for the delay. Great. Yes, you can actually see this is a three-dimensional half hat, where you can use arrow to do any of your notations. Yes, you can have here is a layout tab with ribbons as well. You have the references. Yes, great. You have the references, and in home tab, you have the find function here. You could also have the search space, insert. Under the insert tab, you can insert equations, you can insert symbols into your workspace. Yeah, we'll be see this as we move ahead. You can insert charts as well. Great. So if you have a table here, you can plot your chart directly from here without having to go to Microsoft Excel. So notice each time I click some in a different space, our ribbon disappears. So if you want your ribbon tab to be stationary and not disappear, you come to the pin the ribbon, or Control F1. If you press Control F1, it is going to pin your ribbon, and in that way, when you are walking, your ribbon tools will not. We have the scroll bar here to your right, and if you enlarge, then you also have another scroll bar that will help you to toggle through your work space. Cool. Through, and under view, for instance, we can insert a ruler that will permit you to shape your work wall. You can insert grid lines as well, yes, and navigation pane for you to be able to search things related to search topics or words within your document. I'm just going to leave the ruler and then remove the grid line as of now. I'm just going to remove the grid lines and the navigation pane and leave the rulers for now. Yes, you can equally use this zoom tool to zoom into your work or any diagram that you're having in your workspace. Great. And as like in Excel, you may want to save your work by you going to File as well, or simply Control S, which stands for save. Cool. So explain the functions are available extensively in Excel, but for the sake of those who have not been opportune to see the Excel video, above, located in the the Microsoft Word page, we have tabs. Yes, we have tabs like File, Home, Insert tab, Design, Layout, References. And notice each time you click on a various tab, the functions below changes. These functions are known as ribbons. So each tab is associated to various different ribbons, and this ribbons actually tells you what you can be able to do within a given tab. For instance, the layout tabs, I have page setup ribbon, I have paragraph ribbon, arrange, and so on. And each ribbon is further divided into groups, yes, like the orientation groups, size, and so on. So these are groups, these are ribbons, and then we have tabs above here, and as you click on each tab, the ribbon changes. Click on the font ribbon, for instance, I have other functions that normally were not above here that will come up. Great. However, it should be noted that this launch button, or this button that you use to expand each group, they are not found in all the groups. For instance, the table group here doesn't have any launch button. Yes, it doesn't have a launch button. Yeah, so the launch button is not present in all the groups. So you have got to watch out for these launch buttons. Yes, you have to watch out for this launch button. And as we earlier said, not all the tabs have launch button, and this launch button is simply here to let you know that there are many other options aside from the ones that are appearing in the ribbon. Yes, so there are many other options. Great. Next we have our scroll bar, our zoom bar, like in every Microsoft Office suite, Excel, Publisher. We have the zoom button right here, which you can use uh, to access parts of your document clarity. Usually I love when I'm working and I'm able to see the edges of my work. So notice if you scroll right up to a higher percentage, the writings are big, but you are not able to see the extremes, to see the ends of your document. So I usually love having my work around just 100%. Good, just 100% or a little above, where I am able to see all my extremes. Next, as earlier mentioned, you can always use the tell me what you want or the search. You can get this by pressing on Alt, Alt Q. Alt Q, you get it. Tell me what you want, and maybe you're looking for a ruler, for instance. Show me ruler. When you start typing, it appears right up here that show me ruler. It appears right up there, which you can click on, and notice our ruler disappears. If we want to bring it back, we search and we simply click. That is if you have difficulties finding the ruler. Yes, so if you're using presently I'm using Microsoft Word 2019. So if you're using older versions or future versions, or maybe Microsoft on Mac, a lot of this will still be very much applicable. Yes, will still be very much applicable. Maybe you can have slight differences in the layout, or slight differences in where to find some of the functions, and whenever that is the case, you can simply use your Alt Q to search for the function. So now we can start typing our text. Maybe let's say we want to type a small receipt. We have a name and maybe phone number. What else can we have here? Email, for instance. We can equally have maybe the purpose for the receipt. Yes, the purpose. And if you set your Microsoft Word in such a way that it identifies errors, so red lines will generally mean there is either a spelling error or an error with the way a text is written, while blue lines will indicate not necessarily errors, but maybe spacing related issue, or inconsistency within your text. Yes, so generally when you have blue lines, it's an indication that there is a better way of doing what you have done. Not necessarily that it's wrong, but whereas with red line, it is a clear indication that what you've done is wrong and has to be corrected. Whenever you align something on your worksheet, a formatting option pops up immediately where you can do a few editing. Yes, but you can find more of this on your home tab, and various editing that you can do with your text right up there. Yes, you can either bold, italize on the line, and notice just beside the underline option you have different styles of underlining. Yes, you can get more on underlining. Yeah, you can get more. You can equally change your underline color, and still within the color options you have more, which will enable you to choose a particular color which probably you didn't have in the initially provided color codes. So we can equally have a body, say remark for clients. Maybe we have a remark for clients. Great. So this maybe can be bolded, it can be centralized. We can either Control E for centralizing. Yeah, and if you don't want to go through all these options, so you have other heading styles that you may want to use here. Great, other heading styles, and there are more heading styles as well. So you have strong, you have this, you have strong quoted, subtitles, you have subtitles, you have title as well. So let's go with the titles. And worthy of note is the fact that regardless of whatever heading you choose here, you can still go ahead and do all the modifications that we earlier saw with it. Great. And notice that whenever you write your heading and you place enter, when you press enter, your mouse indicator moves to the next line where you can start writing. Yes, and Microsoft Word is just doing all the work for us. Yes, and when you write and reaches certain yes, the next line, when you type and arrives and reaches the last point on your line, your cursor moves, the mouse pointer moves to the next line. Great. Notice some lines are cut. Yes, we have like this space here with no words, this long space here with nothing. This is because with align left. Yes, and the next word which should have fitted here is this very long word, meaningless word that we wrote here, which cannot enter here, and that is why it has to move to the next line. If we create a space here, for instance, you discover that the other part, since it can move to the upper line, it automatically goes up, yes, to fill that empty space. Cool. Another way of filling the empty spaces is by using the justify alignment option. Yes, but this is not so great because it creates, simply tell Microsoft Word that you want words at the extreme of each line. Yes, so Microsoft Word will create space within each line just so that you have words at the extreme ends of each line. And usually these spaces are not uniform, like the space here is quite long compared to the one here, which really in most cases is not appetizing to see. It doesn't make your work really looks good. Great. Notice that if you try to click maybe below the line where, yeah, if you try to click somewhere within the document, it actually doesn't go. Yes, this is the last place where your mouse pointer will always appear. So if you wanted to write something, to leave a few space before writing something, what you have to do is to click enter a few times, and then you can start writing. Yes, and since you created space within already, now you can be able to click your mouse anywhere in the space between the two lines. Great. So if I wanted to move a line down, what I need to do is to click to at the left of my line, the start point of the line, and then I press enter, and my line is being carried down. If I wanted to move it up, you just click backspace, or yes, your backspace, and the line moves. The line with the text moves up. And when you type, yes, when you type and the first page is exhausted, automatically you're carried to the second space. Great. So as you type in your Microsoft Word, you may want to insert a picture, you may want to insert a table. Yes, so let's start by inserting a table, for instance. So you go to the insert tab, and the right below the insert tab you have the table group. Yes, which you can click the downward arrow to define your table, how many columns you want your table to have. And as you move through this table space, you actually see your table appearing in your worksheet, in your workspace. So if you wanted a table of 4 columns and yes, 4 column and 4 rows, for instance, or 5 rows, I have you select your 4 column and 5 row, and as when you select, you see it actually appearing. You see the definition appears on the top where initially you had insert table. You see it being defined there. Great. And when you've selected, you can just click enter. Good. That is that. You can equally want to insert your table by insert the table by defining it. Great. You define the number of row. you define the number of column and the number of row. You can equally define the width and the width of your column. You can do a few of these other options. You may equally want to insert your table by drawing the table. Yes, when you click on drawing, you have this pencil tool that appears here, enabling you to actually click and draw your table. Yes, you click and draw. Great. So let me just undo for the last table we installed.